Welcome to this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. This meeting is held in the Jackson County Courthouse Auditorium at 10 South Oakdale in Medford. This meeting is held every Wednesday morning at 9:30, as long as a quorum of 2 commissioners is available to conduct the business of Jackson County. Your Jackson County Commissioners broadcast this meeting over Rogue Valley Television, and it's available for streaming and review at jacksoncountyor.gov. Under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming. The types of business that occur at this meeting include public hearings, official voting on actions by the Board of Commissioners, presentations by departments of the county, and recognition of service that makes our county great. Agendas of the meetings are posted on the Commissioners' Bulletin Board and released on the county's website and through local media in the time required for public notice. Many of the conclusions on the business presented to the Board of Commissioners have been discussed in detail and prepared by the administrative office and staff prior to consideration at this meeting and the official vote. These prior discussions also have been properly noticed and the work done in a transparent manner. We encourage you to come and experience the process by attending any of these meetings or watch online at jacksoncountyor.gov. And now, your Jackson County Commissioners, Rick Dyer, Colleen Roberts, and Randy Sparacino, working for you.
Good morning. I'll call to order the Board of Commissioners regular meeting for March 12th, 2025. Today's the 12th. It is the 12th. 9:30 in the morning, and we're here in the Courthouse Auditorium and on audio-video conference. And we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you stand and join us.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our first item of business today is a request for and discussion of non-agenda items. It's a 5-minute limit pursuant to the codified ordinances of Jackson County, Section 213.06. Members of the public may address any item not on the agenda. However, pursuant to ORS 192.640, the Board of Commissioners is prohibited from discussing a principal subject that's not on the agenda. Therefore, the Board of Commissioners will listen to your concerns and may consider the matter you raise by asking staff to follow up on any questions or by placing the matter on an agenda for discussion at a future meeting. So we do have a sign-up sheet in the auditorium. We'll start there. And first signed up is Brad Bennington. So come on up, and the floor is yours.
Commissioners, good morning. Brad Bennington, 2886 Orchard Home Drive, Medford. I come this morning to remind you of something that you already know. Even though our county is extremely well run, some of us think that Jackson County may be, or actually is, the best managed county of all 36 counties in Oregon. We see people, especially our younger people, struggling to afford housing to live in this well-managed county. And the main problem is the availability of buildable land. Now, I know that the commissioners, when you take this job, you're not given a magic wand. Some people think that you do get a magic wand when you take this job, that you can just wave it and fix problems. We know that isn't the case. But we also know that there are things that can be done that are helpful. So again, our biggest problem in affordable housing, it's not the cost of the labor. It's not, I mean, these things continue to go up because of economic pressure, but the biggest problem is availability of buildable land. And then we have things like Senate Bill 762 that reach out with this fire mapping thing that's been going on for several years now, that actually claw back a large amount of the buildable land that was approved. So builders and developers have a tremendous difficulty creating housing that has to comply with Oregon Building Code, Planning Code, all of these administrative rules that apply and still create a product that's affordable. So what you can do, and what you often have done, is you raise your voice when you see more unhelpful regulatory burdens coming out of Salem. So we know that we're in a current legislative session. The session is going to run till June. It's scheduled to run till June. Sometimes it goes a bit after, but This session started with over 3,000 bills. 3,000 bills this session started with, and there's just a tremendous amount of these bills that are pertaining to housing. So I would just ask on behalf of people who would love to be able to buy a home here in Jackson County, do what you always do. Pay attention to what's going on in Salem. When you see these things happening that are really unnecessary and burdensome and expensive regulatory burdens, raise the voice of the county and say this doesn't make sense. This is not going to help the people of Jackson County. There's a lot of those things. One of the other things that continues to be a problem, which the county has spoken to, matter of fact, Chair Roberts has spoken to, is wildfire management. We're causing this horrible smoke problem that's just been so bad for so many years, really decreasing the livability and raising all kinds of health problems here in Jackson County. So those are just two things that just so important to the people that live here. To get our young people to where they can actually afford housing in the communities that they were raised in. You know, I mean, so many people, they move here because they love Southern Oregon. They love all the amenities, all the, the outdoor living, the beauty, all of that. So they raise their families here, and the kids grow up to get out of either high school or college, and then they go, Mom and Dad, we got to move away. We can't find jobs here that pay us enough to be able to get a house here. So the county, by maintaining a fully staffed planning department, maintaining a fully staffed building department, being helpful in that way. And then once again, when you see these unhelpful regulatory burdensome things that are trying to come out of Salem, Salem just has and I say this as somebody who's watched this for a long time. Salem has a really bad habit of doing this one-size-fits-all when it comes to Oregon. So even though you got Multnomah County, which has 30% of the entire population of Oregon, and you got 25 other counties, that things may not work there as well as they do in Multnomah County, or may not work at all, but somehow when they come out of Salem, they all seem to kind of, fit Multnomah County. So anyway, those are my thoughts this morning. Thank you very much for your service. Much appreciated.
Thank you. A couple things, Brad. I forgot to ask you if you, first for the record, give your address and name and address. I don't know if you did that. Did you do that?
2886 Orchard Home Drive. I did.
Well, there's twice.
Yeah.
But also, whether it's you or any other citizen, if there's specific bills, if you bring them, emails, bring them to our attention, we really appreciate it. With 3,000, we can overlook something that might be important, and we're trying to watch them, and our staff is as well. But if there's something specific, be in touch with us, any of the board.
You bet.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Sorry I missed it. I must have spaced that. All right, next is Sherm Simmons, and you give your name and address for the record. I'll pay attention.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
I'll try to make sure it's clear. My name is Sherman D. Simmons. I live at 5756 Highway 234.
Got it.
Central Point, Oregon. It's actually Central Point, believe it or not, and I live in Sam's Valley out by Rainey's Market. But anyway, there that is. So what I'm here for today, I want to address a couple issues that are we need to look at really hard. One of them is the traffic situation. Living on 234, it's a racetrack. Well, the highway's inadequate. It's a cutoff road between I-5 and Highway 62. Coming from the north, that's how they get to Eastern Oregon. The traffic volume there is something else. Try walking down the road, Highway 234, or riding a bike down that highway. We, back in the old days, when Dad bought the ranch, first bought the ranch back in the 50s, we actually drove cows down that highway. Try it now. Anyway, I don't expect to drive cows down the highway, but it sure be nice to be able to take a walk and feel safe out there on the highway. Anyway, a lot needs to be done there. But the speeding in the valley, traffic laws, we have to get on it and enforce these laws. I'm seeing atrocious driving on the streets. I've driven in 20 countries, had an international driver's license, etc., owned 2 different cars in Europe. So I've been around, and I have never seen driving like I'm seeing in this valley. It's, we got to address it. All right, so that's one of my points. I'd like them to issue a whole lot of tickets, and when I go to traffic court to watch the trials, I want to see a lot of people in there because they deserve them. and I'm sure you folks have experienced that too on our roads. Anyway, so that's one issue, traffic problems. Junked properties. Now, I'm an ex-firefighter from Fire District 3, and I will tell you, we're worried about the land and this fire map and the fires on bare land. Yes, it's a problem, but a real problem is these junked properties. And every area in the country, at least, has junked, and the cities too, junked properties. I can drive down 234 and show you one. It's just absolutely pitiful. Junk cars, you know, fire hazard stuff, tanks, garbage. We got to address this stuff. There's no reason for it. It ruins neighborhoods. It's not just an eyesore, it's a hazard. Now, there's a fire problem. Let's get the fire departments out there and people out there inspecting, condemning these properties and forcing these people to clean these properties up. If they don't know where they are, I'll show them to them. So those are two major issues I wanted to address today. So traffic and junked properties. Okay, any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Anybody else in the auditorium wish to speak? You can come up to the podium, or if there's anybody online, if you raise your Zoom hand, you'll be brought into the meeting. Yes.
So Jackson County, we don't have a fire department, so if the citizen would like to report sort of a fire danger, he would need to reach out to the individual fire districts. The county, I mean, can make referrals, but without specifics. We also don't control the fire districts. Similarly, when it comes to code enforcement, we have limited resources, and so the county responds on a complaint basis. So if we have a specifics about a complaint where there may be junked property or other code violations, we can respond to those, but we don't have the resources to patrol the county looking for violations when it comes to our code enforcement. Similarly, we only have code enforcement authority within the jurisdiction of the unincorporated areas of the county, and so if there is a code violation or similar situation inside an incorporated city, that's something that the individual cities would need to address. And my understanding is I believe all of them are also on a complaint basis, so they also don't have the resources to patrol their cities looking for code violations. If Sherm or anyone else knows where there's a property that may be violating, and they can file a complaint, and then it is processed as our resources allow us to do so.
Great, thank you for the follow-up on that one.
Yes, and thank you.
And
I will be on the phone.
Anybody online?
Report them again.
Madam Chair, there's no one on Zoom with their hand raised.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, we'll move on to our consent calendar. We have minutes of meetings from the Board of Commissioners regular meeting, February 19th, 2025, and our Board of Commissioners staff meeting, February 20th, 2025.
Move to approve the consent calendar as read.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. And we have two items for discussion and deliberation. The first item is an order authorizing an account activation request and rider to account activation request with Guardian Alliance Technologies Incorporated. It's order number 43-25, and we have Ms. Bell with us today.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So Guardian Alliance Technologies, Inc. performs law enforcement pre-employment background check services for potential new employees and allows prospective employees to fill out background check information electronically, as well as upload and store necessary documentation. The term of the account activation request and rider is upon execution until terminated as provided for in the account activation request. It is an estimated expense to community justice of $12,330 per year.
Thank you. Any questions?
Nope. I will move to approve order number 43-25.
And I'll second. Any discussion?
I have nothing additional.
I don't either.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes, thank you. And our last item is an order authorizing an intergovernmental agreement, HAPJCJ-25, between the City of Medford and Jackson County. It's order number 44-25. Ms. Bell.
Thank you. So currently, there is an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Medford and Jackson County to house and care for 8 adults in custody, otherwise known as AIC, per day. The city of Medford is in need of an additional 12 jail beds, and the county is in the position to accept and provide for the secure custody, safekeeping, housing, and care of an additional 12 AICs in accordance with state and local laws, standards, regulations, policies, and court orders applicable to the operation of the jail. This agreement will provide 12 AIC bed spaces in addition to the 8 provided by the current agreement for use when directed by the city of Medford. The term of the agreement is January 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025, and requires ratification to become effective January 1st, 2025. It's a $108,000 revenue to the sheriff's office.
Thank you.
And I'll move to approve order number 44-25.
And I'll second that. And I will add, we had tons of discussion in our work session about this, and I've had lots of follow-up questions, and appreciate getting the answers to those. And just personally, I'm glad it's a 6-month, it's a short-term agreement, so interesting to see how it fills everybody's need.
Yeah, and I have spoken to local law enforcement, and these beds really do help them be a lot more effective in their activities here in Medford. And the beds do not sit empty if they're not being used by Medford PD. So it's a good collaboration, I believe.
Yeah, I agree.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. And that does conclude our agenda, and so our meeting is adjourned.
We hope that you've enjoyed this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. If you have any questions on any part of the show, please feel free to contact your Jackson County Commissioners or staff. You can find their contact information at jacksoncountyor.gov. To review the content of this or any other meeting, under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming.
Yes, Joe, I appreciate your comments on that. I'll get on here.
I'll mention it next time I'm up there.
And so they just,
I think I've walked through one of those before. How's the